Cthulhu Mythos is a mythopoeia of a fictional universe that comprises various cosmic and extraterritorial entities that have been part of H.P. Lovecraft's horror literature. This superficial universe is open-ended in itself, implying that multiple writers across the globe and over the period of time have provided input into the stories and characters of the Cthulhu Mythos. The entire mythological genre is named after an alien demigod entity who is a combination of an octopus and dragon. In this video, we will explore the origins and features of every planet that has been featured in the Cthulhu Mythos and their certain characteristics, ranging from if any type of life form exists there, and what is the connection of these planets with the Great Old One and Cthulhu itself. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. The Voral. The planet first made an appearance in the Guardian of the Book. It is a planet in the 23rd Nebula and is supposed to be the birthplace of Cthulhu. In the Horror in the Galaxy book by Lynn Carter, Cthulhu is believed to be the offspring of Yog-Sothoth, after it had mated with the female denizen of the planet Voral. This origin story is different from the one described in H.P. Lovecraft and Clark Smith's genealogical charts. There it has been mentioned that Cthulhu is the progeny of Nug or Kazaxakluth, Yago. It is yet another fictional creation of H.P. Lovecraft that first appeared in the fungi from Yuggoth. In Through the Gates of the Silver Sky, Yago is described as a dim, fantastic world with 5 multicolored suns, alien constellations, dizzy black crags, clawed, taper-snouted dizziness, bizarre metal towers, unexplained tunnels, and cryptical floating cylinders. The planet is inhabited by burrowing dholes, which are humongous worm-like creatures that are tall up to several meters. In Lynn Carter's writing, Yago revolves around a star called Deneb. However, Lovecraft places this planet in a quintuple star system located in some other galaxy altogether that is millions of light years distant from Earth. In Carter's work, Yuth is also presented as the planet where goddess Shub-Niggurath resides and is worshipped by both the taper-snouted Yago inhabitants and the dholes. The notable wizard Zakauba is also a citizen of this planet. Yagoth's history is about how initially it was just occupied by the Nug-Soth creatures that are in many aspects parallel to the mammals, reptiles, and insects. Eventually, the dholes destroyed the planet's crust and annihilated the entire Nug-Soth civilization. Those who survived the catastrophe took refuge in obscure parts of the planet. Abith. Abith is also popularly known as the World of Seven Suns, and is a fictitious planet that revolves around 7 stars beyond the Zoth. It first made its appearance in the Horror in the Gallery. The wise and intelligent creatures that house any universal secrets happen to civilize this planet. Nyarlathotep, that is the outer god, also known as the Crawling Chaos, are believed to either reside here or have been caged on the planet. H.P. Lovecraft and August Derleth had originally named the planet World of the Seven Suns, and the term Abith was later coined by Lynn Carter. In Carter's writings, Abith is also portrayed as a world revolving around Algol, which is a double star and is the abode of Filpaghuia in the Feaster from the Stars. This version is only presented in the revised version of the story as published in the Book of Eibon. In the version published in the Crypt of Cthulhu magazine, the Algolian world inhabited by the Svilpaghuia is instead identified as Imar, whereas another story mentions it as Urautron. In The Thing in the Pit, Imar is shown to belong in the same star cluster as Abith and Zoth. Yuggoth. Yuggoth is a planet located at the very edge of the Earth's solar system in either the Kuiper Belt, the Scattered Disk, or even as far away as the Oort Cloud. It is the planet of the Migo colony, a race of fungoid, crustacean-like creatures. The Migo are scientifically and technologically an advanced creation, having developed an extremely sophisticated grasp of surgical techniques and neurosciences. Their name originates from the Migo, or abominable snowmen of Nepalese folklore. Yuggoth is a major halting destination for the Great Old Ones on their way to Earth. Yuggoth inherently has a mini-solar system that includes various planets like Thog, Zaman, Nthon, Thok, and the Gurik Zone. This planet is also native to an elder race of Yuggothians who died out probably due to the cannibalistic instincts of Kazaxakluth before the planet had become the outpost of the Migo territory. Relics of the elder race exist, including, according to the revelations of Glaki, a city of green pyramids and a pit that might be the Pit of Shoggoths. A dark, inhospitable world, its surface regularly witnesses high winds, while its seas and rivers consist of a warm, oily substance that flows sluggishly under basalt bridges. Cities, towers, and mines exist on both land and sea. The planet also happens to be the source of laugh metal. The name Yuth first was featured in Dwayne W. Rimmel's poem cycle, Dreams of Yuth. The planet was there mentioned as Yid, but Lovecraft altered it to Yuth, as the word Yid was also a derogatory word used to refer to Jews. This fictional planet is also the former home to the great race of Yuth, which were a prominent species in the Cthulhu Mythos. The word Yuth appears only once in Lovecraft's work, when he notes in The Shadow Out of Time that the minds of the great race sped across the void from that obscure transgalactic world known in the disturbing and debatable Eltdown shards as Yuth. The Eltdown shards are 23 prehistoric pottery pieces of evidence that are believed to be engraved with pre-human civilization writings. Relia. With its first appearance in All-Consuming Fire, Relia is indeed one of the most peculiar planets in the opinion of geologists. Many assume it to be part of the Old World, such that in the past it might have been a nova blasting much of its matter away into space. Its frozen atmosphere soon was melted away by the heat from within its core, thus leaving valleys, fissures, channels, and plains with an oppressively solid sky hanging above them, supported upon the pillars of the mountains. This planet was created by Andy Lane, and its location is in the proximity to where the supposed Azathoth has been imprisoned in a city known as Kadath in the cold wastes. The presence of sunlight on this planet supports a limited form of biodiversity, such as mobile carnivorous plants and balloon-like animals, whose flesh is edible and tastes like chocolate. The fauna also includes the 5-foot-long tripedal rat-like creatures with bodies covered in grayish-green scales and a mane of fur running along their spine. In terms of its geological properties, it resonates a lot with that of Earth. It exhibits gravity and can also be partially hospitable to the human race, barring its cold, frigid, and icy conditions. Despite being extremely distant from Earth, the two planets align in the folds of the space-time continuum in such a way that the chanting of specific spells can open up a passage between the plain of Leng region and planet Relia and the city of Jabalahad in India. This planet is located in the Andromeda Galaxy, also known as Shagi. It first made its appearance in The Hunter of the Dark. Shagi orbits in a binary system with green suns. It was covered with lush green thick jungles and dark seas. A category of insects also infested it called shans, and a mysterious being known as the worm that gnaws the night. Its orbit is also composed of dust and asteroids, which filter the light from blue stars and thus give it the resultant green tint, emerald-like color. By the gravitational forces exhibited by the binary system, Shagi has a complex orbital trajectory, unstable axis, and high temperature range that makes life's existence impossible. The viscous atmosphere structure prevents any light from reaching the surface, barring the gamma and X-rays that are emitted from the twin stars. This leads to frequent buildup of the static electricity that is released in the form of electricity. The landscape is mortifying, with black seas formed by plasma, deserts covered by glass particles, crystalline purple high-rise mountains, and forests with dense flora. The only form of life that's present on this planet is the Black Sea, which is believed to be either a complex organic compound or a single protoplasmic organism. The shans mentioned above have originated from the deep trenches below the volcanoes and are comparatively a more advanced form of organism. They feed on the radiation generated by the binary stars. The legend also elucidates the story of a primordial Shagi civilization prior to the emergence of shans that had established cities that consisted of pyramidal buildings made from mysterious green minerals. In the year 592 AD, the planet was devastated by the outer god Groth. Planets from the solar system, Cyanol. Not much information is available about this planet. All that's known is that it's a dual planet that once revolved around the star Arcturus. Tsathoggwa's followers, the Vormi, had once lived here. and Svilpagwia's daughter, Svatliklip, may too have spent some time at Cyanol. The planet's first appearance was in Through the Gates of Silver Key, and it was destroyed in some catastrophe after the Vormis moved to primal Hyperborea. Diverging from this theory, Ariel Prescott, in her work Visions from Yadith, implies that this planet is still in existence as of the year 1927. Nthon. Clark Ashton Smith first mentioned this fictional planet in the Cthulhu Mythos in his story The Infernal Star, and later elucidated upon by John W. Patterson in The Priestess of Necrama. It orbits in the binary star system comprised of Yamalzakra and Yuth. Unlike other mystical planets, Nthon is inhabited by a very smart and magically advanced race of alien beings who shall remain nameless. Every night, flocks of red-eyed, bat-winged, strange creatures called Numbrals, whose objective is to eliminate the foolish, the unwary, and the slothful of the Nthon, visit the planet. Nthon is also home to a species of semi-animate flora called Kisanti trees. The planet also holds a royal palace belonging to Avelzant, one of the rulers of Nthon, his daughter Indura, and his daughter's supposed human lover, Dr. Claude Farnsworth. Garian. Garian is a planet that was created by Paizo Incorporated in the year 2007 under its Game Mastery imprint in a generic OGL module, and 2 months later, it became the primary setting for the Pathfinder role-playing game. The planet's first time in the OGL Crown of the Kobold King and Pathfinder Rise of the Rulinords. This planet houses a diversity of life forms, both sentient and non-sentient. There also exists a lot of supernatural and magical elements here, such as witches, sorcerers, and necromancers. Sentient species inhabiting the planet include the native species, as well as the immigrated ones who willingly or unwillingly landed here. These species include the varied races of dragons, elves, giants, krakens, lizardmen, merfolk, elementals, serpent men, kitsune, and others. As being part of the solar system that has several inhabited worlds, each of which hosts one sentient species, some of them are natives and others alien. All these planets, also like Garian, are filled with wizards and mystic creations. Technologically, these worlds range from Bronze Age level to the Renaissance period, and societies range from cave-dwelling hunter-gatherer cultures to bureaucratic empires. Their technological forte includes robots, weapons of mass destruction, and others, which are all the debris of crashed starships or lost alien settlements, and are therefore rare and treated as artifacts. Many of Outer Gods and Great Old One's servants and followers also reside on this planet, even though they form the minority population here. The Deep Ones and the Neolethlids are also among these races. The planet also had a few Great Old Ones, such as Orgesh, who were born on Golarian Mar and had been imprisoned here, and also Yig. Veltrock. It is a rather obscure planet, as much information isn't available. All that's known about Veltrock is that it is located in the Fomalhaut system and is inhabited by the species called Veltrockni. It is covered in a layer of protective clouds. The vast forest, with varied fauna from fungi to trees, is beneath this outer layer of clouds. The planet's surface is plastered in mist. A species called bark crawlers is also found here. These species are consumed by the Veltrockni, but could endanger their lives if found in abundance. In the year 2172, the planet was invaded by the Sun Confederacy, and by the 34th century, this planet became a member of the Galactic Federation. Tond. Similar to Veltrock, very little is known about Tond other than it is an extraterrestrial planet that is the native of the humanoid Yarkdao, and it orbits the binary Yafine and Balblo. The planet first made its appearance in The Inhabitant of the Lake, created by Ramsey Campbell. It's one of the many planets that the Great Old One Glocki visited before his arrival on Earth. Zar. Zar is the fictional planet under the Cthulhu Mythos that had been designed by the American author Richard L. Tierney in his novel The Wind of Zar. It orbits in the Xantilix galaxy and is inhabited by Zathog. Zathog is a Great Old One who had settled in the heart of the planet Zar after having fled from the war with the Elder Gods and their influence. Over a period of time, it had become the patron god of Zarians, offering them rulership of the universe in return for liberating the Old Ones and destroying the Elder Gods. It also gifts them with the power to travel across time and space in exchange for their aid against its ancient enemies. Vortis. The fictional planet created by Bill Strutton for the series Doctor Who first made its appearance in The Web Planet in the year 1965. The planet is located in the Aesop galaxy and is inhabited by Animus, Optra, Zarbi, and Menoptera. The Animus are affiliated with the Great Old Ones and are the ruling forces on Vortis. Animus are the Great Old Ones from the Loigor race. They had transformed the green, lush landscape of the planet into an acidic wasteland. The Animus have accommodated themselves in the Carcinome, which is an organic self-healing palace. The creatures are capable of taking over anything that comes into contact with gold. The Animus could also create webbing with which it can confidently capture its victims. The Animu have also enslaved other insectoid species on the planet called Zarbi. Yundu is an extra-dimensional world developed by Phil Francis for Chaosium's Call for Cthulhu role-playing game. It first appeared in Lovecraft's work Dreamlands. It is located in the depths of space somewhere near the Dreamlands. Dreamland is also referred to as the Dream Realm. It's native to bizarre aerial creatures called Winellians and possibly their flying steeds, the phosphorescent monsters. The Dreamlands are, for the most part, a parallel image of our universe, having as far as can be determined the same planets, stars, and other cosmic geographical features. Yilla. Created by Walter C. DeBille Jr., Yilla is a planet inhabited by ocean-dwelling aquatic creatures called Yorith, which could be a Great Old One. The planet has a natural satellite, Zithor, whose underground caverns are home to the dwarfish and maligned Lorvs. Yilla first appeared in The Oldest Dreamer. Marvelous verdict. This was our list of 16 fascinating planets of the Cthulhu Mythos, the stories behind their creation, and the different species that inhabit these planets. Do let us know in the comments section which planet interested you the most and why. We'll be back soon with yet another marvelous video. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.